Hello there, Hadya. Thank you for sending in your essay. You're making great progress. Let's jump in and have a look at your final essays. So the flowchart above highlights the numerous steps involved in preparation of different types of teas utilizing fresh tea leaves. Excellent. These include white, green, oolong, black, and scented teas. The first step in the process is sorting and cleaning the tea leaves, and the final step involves drying the leaves to prepare the tea. Fantastic step. The scented teas are prepared by making use of green, black, or oolong tea leaves. Excellent distinction there. For green, black, and oolong teas, the cleaned and sorted tea leaves are withered, while, okay, we need probably a comma, withered, while for the white tea, they are steamed. You do not need the while there because we're using it during the time that, not as a conjunction. So, fine. For green tea, the leaves are then steamed or fried, rolled, and shaped. In case of oolong tea, the leaves are shaken in a basket, short fermented, and pan fried. Right. There we go. While the black tea leaves are folded in different shapes and then fully fermented. The final step for all teas is drying to obtain the final product. For the scented variety, the green, black, or oolong leaves are dried, scented with flowers or fruit, and cooled to receive the final product. Wonderful work. Absolutely spot on. So great work there, Hadya. Let's jump into your task 2. So just to give you some more value, I believed I'd have a look at the chart because, as you could have probably imagined, it was quite a straightforward correction I was offering. So just to improve your score, what could have we done? Well, we could have identified that, and we could have identified which has the longest process, which would be oolong tea, which has the shortest process, probably white tea. Can you see? And this would then help us score higher for grammatical range and accuracy because we've used another feature, we've used the superlatives. Also help with task response because we've done another form of grouping and selecting. And then we could even take it a step further and say let's see, there are only 2 teas with 4 stages. That would be green and black tea. And then, let's see, okay, yeah, and then scented tea has 3 stages, followed by white tea with only 2. So that we've just grouped again, but in order of sequencing. So yeah, just a little bit of just to improve the score rather than working on just the corrections. So great work. Every government is always striving, great vocabulary, to improve the standard of living for citizens in all parts of the country. Okay, so be careful here. We've got a sweeping assumption. And we need to hedge against these assumptions. So I would say, like, in modern society, almost every government, and I'd say almost, or even here, usually always, because, in the country, because like you can always have a counter argument to a sweeping generalization, which is often identified with the present tense or always or never. So I can just easily counter argument, like in Spain, it's quite a divided political system. And there, the government members, maybe from the Catalan party, which is in the north, the richer part, are definitely not improving and are definitely not striving to improve the standard of living for the citizens in the south of the country. Okay, and that happens even in the central government. So anyway, that's why we need to hedge. One method to achieving this, yeah, I would have gone for the infinitive here after 2. One method to achieve this, or one method of achieving this is to mobilize companies from metropolises to regional areas. Great vocabulary here. And I noticed American spelling here and American spelling. Just make sure, there's nothing wrong with that, just make sure we use American spellings throughout the rest of the article. This approach has certain advantages will be discussed in the essay below. This is an empty sentence. I can use this in an essay about criminals, about higher education, about social media bullying. Examiners spot these, they're not keen on these, so we need to adapt them, we need to tailor it to the topic. This approach has certain advantages for the regions receiving the new employment and possible disadvantages for the cities that lose them, or whatever positions you've taken later down in the essay, which will be discussed in this essay before, or both of these, both of these will be discussed, okay, in the essay below. On one hand, there are numerous merits of relocating companies to far-off locations. Are we going for far-off locations, or are we just going to regional locations? Just be careful there. To the countryside, away from the city, to suburban areas, whatever. Yeah. Firstly, the development of more businesses in these areas would most likely, hedging again, create more job opportunities, which would then allow more people to gain employment and provide for their families. Great. So we've got we could have fashioned this into a hypothetical argument using the conditional and boosted our grammatical range and accuracy score. Firstly, let's see. Firstly, if the governments were to be relocated, this would most likely create more job opportunities, which in turn would XYZ. Yeah. Secondly, as more people move to these areas for jobs, there will be a requirement to invest in the construction of more homes, schools, etc. Beautiful. Infrastructure is a great topic-specific vocabulary term we could have incorporated here. This in turn would significant. Can you see I'm using more more cautious vocabulary and grammar, just for hedging. So you definitely need to look at hedging your academic arguments. This argument is supported by results from a study conducted by the UK government, where employment rates increased by 50% in areas which had an influx of businesses from big cities. Big is basic, good, small, bad, major, significant, capital. Well, no, actually not capital, but major, significant, tier one, anything but big. However, on the other hand, we cannot ignore the demerits of moving organizations to remote areas. Beautiful. In order to establish buildings to accommodate these companies, a significant number of trees would have to be cut down. Not necessarily. So again, we've got to hedge it, and we've got to put the pretext here. We've got to put the situation. So if the if the areas receiving these companies were forests and woodland, then a significant number of trees would have to be cut down. But if, for example, my area, where I come from in England, Yorkshire, it's just fields. That's it. There isn't hardly any woodland, and all they'd have to do is just dig up fields and put the companies there. Simple. So, there's always a counter argument. That's why we have to hedge. Consequently, the natural ecosystem would be majorly disrupted, significantly is a better, more natural way to say that. And may even lead, great hedging there, to the endangerment of various flora and fauna. Great terms there. Another negative aspect of this relocation is the potential lack of skilled workforce, which might hinder the functioning and profits of the business. Beautiful. This is evident from the examples of many major multinationals that had to shut down after suffering significant losses following shifting to regional locations. Okay, beautiful. Considering the above discussion, it is clear that while relocation to remote areas may boost or would probably boost employment opportunities, comma, it could dramatically deteriorate the balance of natural ecosystems and financially harm the balance sheet of the companies. Okay, let's just mention both points. Therefore, a proper process should be given by the government before pushing such measures. Excellent work there, Hadya. I think you'd definitely benefit from our new frameworks course. I've included a link to this course, and if you sign up to the essay correction service we've got as well, I think you'd see you'd be able to improve faster by getting more feedback. Another route to take would be to have a look at another essay pack, and we've included a discount for that as well. It's up to you. You can either go the automated essay correction route or continue along this line of getting human essay corrections. It's your choice. I'd be interested to know which you want to do. So initially on the free checker, it scored it as a 6. However, when we run the premium checker, we measure more data points and we can have more confidence in giving you a more accurate score. So this is just the initial one, and we always are a little bit cautious when we're using this one. So let's just see actually my writings. It's still getting processed. Here is the frameworks course I mentioned. Have a look at that. It's about $137, but if you join the essay correction service and you upgrade, you will be automatically invited to join it for I think it's like $60. So you'll save a good $80 more or less if you subscribe to the essay correction service first. Let's have a look and see if it has got it. Yep, it's completed it. Okay, so you're still on a band 6, which I think is maybe a little bit harsh. Okay, but you can get some more feedback there. Yeah, you can see huge, enormous, gigantic. My suggestions were far superior, so it's up to you. Which had that had, yeah. Obviously, human essay correction is going to be superior, but obviously, it costs more and it's a little bit slower. So it's your call. Have a great day and all the best.